Hello there. Welcome to your final session. I hope everything has been going well in your facility so far. We're going to repeat the majority of the questions that were asked as we've been doing, then you'll be on your way. How have you been feeling? Hello?
I don't want to go back there.
Excuse me?
The room. The dark room. I don't want to go back there.
Well, today is your last day here, remember? After this questioning segment, then you are free to leave. First question.
I do. Avery Penrose, 21. I came here because I needed the money. I'm unemployed. I wanted to help pay rent this month. My mom was struggling.
Okay.
I feel scared. I fear that if I say something wrong, they'll shock me. He'll shock me.
Noted. Continue.
I am extremely mentally uncomfortable. I'm physically weak and also uncomfortable.
Wrote down?
No. I don't think this was worth it. I want to go home. I want to go home.
Okay then. Thank you so much for answering all the questions in the correct order. However, due to this being your final session, I am mandated to recap our prior sessions and then ask one more question you need to answer, if that is okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
Great. In our first session, we asked you a collection of questions that were repeated across each session. The first question was, do you remember your name, age, and initial reason for attending this experiment? In our first session, you first introduced yourself as Reginald Schrodinger, 35-year-old mass murderer, then as Gertrude Warbacher, 75-year-old elder who was exhausted of her time in the elderly home, then followed with your actual name and stated your reasoning to come here was out of boredom and that the money seemed appealing. Now, however, it seemed your initial reasoning was much different and was in fact to help your family with your house. Does that all sound accurate so far?
Yeah, that sounds accurate.
Amazing. Our second question was, what do you feel right now? In our first session, you jested about how the question was written rather amateurly, as if it was written by a preschooler. Then you continued to not answer. Therefore, I marked down that you were feeling rather enthusiastic. In the following session, that changed to then suddenly feeling agitated, annoyed, and hurt. In our prior session, you simply stated that you felt cold. Now you mentioned that you feel scared. Has this been correct so far?
Yes. Yes, it has.
Fantastic. Question 3 was, are you feeling uncomfortable in any way mentally or physically as of right now? In our first session, you mentioned how you felt incredibly distressed and uncomfortable. In our second session, this was unchanged. In our third session, you simply confirmed that you felt uncomfortable both mentally and physically. Then now you mention that you are currently extremely mentally and physically uncomfortable, along with being physically weak, yes?
Mm-hmm.
Last but not least, the question you bubbled in to be asked over each session. You chose the question, was this worth your time? At first, you said rather enthusiastically that this was indeed worth your time. However, this quickly changed during our second, third, and current sessions by repeatedly saying that this was not, in fact, worth your time.
That's right.
Great, great. Glad everything's correct then. Okay, one more question and then you will receive your compensation money and will be free to go home. Would you consider volunteering to return here to do another experiment in the future?
No, I would not.
Okay then. Yep, you're free to go. Thank you so much for volunteering with us at the Santolina Research Center. It was wonderful being your primary assessor. Upon leaving, you will be greeted with a ground operator who will give you your compensation and then you will be free to leave.
I won't need to go back to that room.
I'm afraid I have no idea what room you're referring to.
You are lying. I can go home.
I am telling the truth. You are free to go home now. Goodbye, Miss Penrose.
Bye.